Had the opportunity to take on a good Florida State team, come away with a series win. How do you feel the 2 days later, coming off those two dubs?
Yeah, the thing I said to the boys on Sunday was, um, I didn't feel like what it felt like going on that weekend was two really good baseball teams. What it felt like coming out of that weekend was two really good baseball teams. They played well, we played well. They had some chances, we had some chances. Friday was a back and forth game where we were able to kind of respond a couple different times when they put some pressure on us. We scored early, but we were kind of able to respond, I think, 3 different times in the game. Saturday, they go up early, we come back. We had chances late, they had chances late, they got the hit, we didn't. And Sunday, Mason did a pretty good job of keeping them at bay, but we had our chances early, and they kept making really good pitches and really good plays, and we had to keep fighting and scrapping. So it was 3 close ball games with 2 really good baseball teams in one of the best places to play in college baseball. I felt like that's something that we can replicate every weekend. I didn't leave that weekend being like, oh my God, we played so well that we can't do that all the time. I thought we played like we can play, and I thought they played great. So that to me was the most sort of fun, exciting thing about that weekend, was just looking like, this is who this ball club can be.
You feel confident in this team from the young guys are playing like veterans, and the veterans are playing like the 3 and 4 year guys you expect. Dan Metzger from Gian come through big on Friday, Salen, Mason are two of the big names from the freshman class producing on Sunday. It seems like top to bottom, everybody's kind of hitting on where they need to be right now.
Yeah, and it's, Bernsey and Cody are somewhat getting overlooked in that, a little bit in that. And, you pick your head up and you look what Jake Alou's doing offensively, and Brian Dempsey, and, Connie has big at bat after big at bat for us. And, it was good to see Chris Gallen start swinging the bat as well. So, I think the thing is, the freshmen are playing like older guys because our older guys are consistently working with them and teaching them and mentoring them and getting them better. If you watch Lucas Stallman in the outfield, pregame in BP, a kid who can play multiple positions, and Connor Bacon is with him every step of the way, every rep, teaching him, talking to him. There's another group goes out there, and Joe Swazi's out there working with him, or Brian Dempsey was spending time working with Cody on his double play turns pregame the other day. Every time Bernsey comes in the dugout from catching an inning, Gion's there talking to him about something. So there is a lot of tension going to this freshman class, and this freshman class is very good. But it's the 3 classes above them that are consistently preparing them, teaching them, holding them accountable. That is allowing them to have that success. And then you see it coming with the older guys too, like I said, with Jake and Gian and Demps and Cunny and those guys. So, and the same thing on the mound. There's just so much work and effort from the older guys to continue to teach and mentor these younger guys.
10 home games coming up in, I think, 13 days at your relatively new ballpark. I'm guessing that's the first time it's happened. What does it mean? What do you want to see? You had great crowds to close out the Clemson series.
Yeah, this time of year, we're in the past talking about, hoping the field has a chance to be, hoping we can get on our field, and hoping the field has a chance to be ready, and, possibly moving a series. That's been the history of this program. And now we have a 10-game home streak after already playing 5 home games. I think 5 home games, I think it is. So I know the boys are excited. I know when our schedule came out, the boys always look at it and they saw that stretch at home. And we're excited. And we're starting to see, you mentioned it with Clemson, we're starting to see some really good crowds here. It's a fun place. The students are having a blast out there. The community's coming out. That ballpark's getting pretty full pretty quickly. And I think as people start to watch this team more, and it's a fun team to watch. There's some guys that can run and steal bases. There's some guys that can hit the ball over the fence. We got some pretty good arms. I think people are starting to enjoy coming out to the Harrington Athletics Village because of the venue, and also because it's a fun team to watch.
What does the bean pot mean for baseball, and does the team, the players treat it as any other midweek, or is there a
Yeah,
special motivation?
it's not any other midweek. It's a chance to win a trophy. It means a lot to all 4 teams involved. The history of it, uh, um, is pretty special with the history with all 4 teams, with it being at Fenway Park, the championship game at Fenway Park. We're really lucky. It's not often that you have a chance to win a trophy in the middle of your season, and it adds something to a Tuesday midweek, which is a Tuesday midweek against UMass. Anytime you're playing a New England opponent, you want to get a win, and you want to, there's a rivalry feeling type there with all of our New England opponents, but especially when you add the bean pot to it. And the guys, they want to dogpile, and you want to dogpile in the middle of your season. You want to dogpile a couple times at the end of your season.
Is it fun for a lot of these players in the bean pot, and even on Wednesday against Hartford, a lot of New England kids, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Northeast kids really battling it out? They've been playing with or against each other for a long time.
They know each other's names, like you said. They're former teammates, guys they have played with and against. It's Hartford. We talked about UMass and how good they can be. Hartford is a program and a staff that we have a lot of respect for, and the boys do, and especially Hartford is a little bit more heavily Connecticut roster, and we got a bunch of Connecticut guys on our roster, so they got a bunch of buddies down there. So it's ACC weekends, playing in crowds like when you're at Mike Martin Field and where we go. Those are awesome, and it's fun to play in those atmospheres. But it's just as fun to play these New England opponents with guys and coaches you respect and programs that you respect. So there is, and especially Hartford, just the way the schedule has worked out, we haven't really been able to match up dates for the last couple of years. So we haven't seen Hartford here in a bit. So we're excited to do that as well.
Last opponent this week, NC State, as high as 2 or 3 in the polls, 27-2 overall. But that's life in the ACC, right? You expect a really good opponent every weekend. Yeah,
you sort of assume every weekend you're going to have a top 5 or top 10 opponent coming in. There's 14 teams in the ACC. You look at the end of the year, every year, pick the year, 7 to 10 of them are legitimate national championship contenders. And NC State was in Omaha a couple years ago. Elliott Avent is one of the most respected coaches in the country. I think they were the second to last team to get beat this year. I think they rattled off like 21 wins in a row or something. The lineup is scary. They got arms. It's a typical ACC weekend. It's a great team. It's a great program with a great coaching staff. And we're excited to kind of have them in here and go head to head and battle it out and see what happens. But we think they're pretty good. We think we're pretty good. And like I said, we're excited about the weekend.